What's up, guys? Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the Ashen Luca. It's me. I'm here with another episode of the show, and today we will be discussing Xbox, and some Dragon Age. But yeah, guys, Xbox had their showcase, and it was absolutely amazing. To the shock of, I think, a lot of people, it was fantastic. I was surprised. I definitely was not expecting much, and they ended up blowing me away completely. So, I mean, listen, let's talk about it, man. Uh, guys, what did you think?
All right. Mine's going to be pretty lengthy. So if Ramon has a shorter one, he could go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit different. I went into it with high expectations because I think it was their last showcase, was very good as well. So, I mean, Xbox had been doing really well with their showcases, um, I remember the last bad developer direct was the one with the trebuchets or something like that. But after that, if I remember correctly, like their showcases have been really good and their developer directs were at least, decent. So I went into this showcase actually with high expectations, and like it's not often that they're actually exceeded, but they knocked it out of the park even more than what I was expecting. So like my biggest regret about the show is like I don't know where I'm supposed to find all this time for all of these games, but yeah, for sure they filled up my wish list even more, and it was just a fantastic show. Like the pacing was good. Um Everything I saw that I already knew about, minus one game I actually feel even more positive about. The minus one is avowed because the jury's still out on that, because every time I see it, it's either I like it less or I like it a little bit more than less. So I'm still kind of, waiting on that one. But other than that, yeah, fantastic show. Like easily, and like for me, it was like a 9.5. Like I loved it.
Alrighty,
Uh,
Singer.
all righty. Now I'm going to hop off something Ramon said. I mean, you sure Vague doesn't look as good as games like Horizon, but at least the game will have personality. You know. Um, I could
I
say
think
that
you
for
s- you
sure.
you secretly love Horizon because you talk about it so much.
No, absolutely no. It's not good. Anyway, back to the
Actually, I
show.
just got to interject real quick and ask Luca a
Go on.
question. What's that term we use when you talk about games you haven't played?
Fraud?
Fraud. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Tink.
I played 10 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well, what does that have to do with Forbidden West?
Nothing. Aloy's character was crap then, so it's going to be continue to be crap, right?
Well, how do you
I
know
mean,
that when you haven't played the second game?
other people have told me.
What does their opinion have to do with you?
They're trusted opinions, so I
So,
take them,
so you trust their opinion instead of experience it for yourself and talk smack based on secondhand information.
Well, I mean, when it goes on sale and it's like
Ew.
80% off
I'm
on
sorry.
Steam,
I'm sorry.
I'll
That
pick it
just
up.
came out. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad.
No. um,
My bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
okay. Anyway, back to the showcase because that's what's important.
Yeah. Back to the showcase.
Yeah, because games with personality. But
Like
yeah,
Triangle Strategy that nobody talks about. Go ahead.
fantastic game. But
That nobody talks about. Go ahead.
you'll know better.
That
Um,
nobody talks about. And I don't talk about Triangle Strategy unless you bring up games you don't play.
You're talking about it right now, brother.
exactly.
Well, again, because I'm talking
Because
about
you're the one
you
who
talking
even
about
brought
games
it
that
up.
you don't play, and so I'm firing back.
He did end up. I mean, he
And
did
I do
play.
know that nobody talks about Triangle Strategy. I don't have to play the game to know that nobody talks about it but Singer.
Listen, he did play some Horizon Zero Dawn, right? So he has an idea of Aloy's personality. I'm
Yeah, he
gonna
has
keep
an
it real.
idea.
I agree with Singer because I think Aloy is boring too. All right, now maybe she changed in Forbidden West. I don't fucking know, dude. But from Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Zero Yawn, Snooze Fest. You know what I'm saying? Horizon Forbidden Awards. My bad. I'm sorry. I don't know why I brought that up. Anyway, from from Horizon Zero Dawn, I found her boring. Do you see me bringing up Horizon Zero Dawn all the time? No. So I think Singer does it specifically.
I do
To
it specifically for you.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
do it
already
specifically
I
for you.
already know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I already know
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to the showcase, because that's what's most important, right? So I was expecting, a good time from Xbox. They blew it out of the park. They completely destroyed it. The games I said I wanted to see there were actually there, and we had release windows for the games I'm interested in. Now, for this year, Age of Mythology Retold is not for everyone, obviously, but as an RTS fan, lover of Age of Empires, of course, I played Age of Mythology back in the day with AoE, and the way they updated the game, yet they've kept it to what it's supposed to be. Oh, superb! And it comes out in September, which is even better. Well, actually, no, it's not good because Space Marine and other stuff come out, so it's gonna have to sit on the back seat for a while. But that's just my problem. So fantastic. Avowed, I don't need to see anymore. I know the game's gonna be stellar. The story and the quests and the characters, everything about it's gonna be amazing. And obviously, it's coming out this year again, so that's another good one. And then Doom: The Dark Ages. I wondered what they were going to do to revamp Doom, because you have to do something different at this point. The amount of hype and what they did. I know there's other games where you could throw a weapon and come back, but the fact it's Doom guy with a shield and it's a chainsaw, and he's in a mech and he's riding a dragon. Sure, it's knocking out the park. Fable, absolutely adore, can't wait. Now, this also brings me to another thing. They showed a great variety of what they have coming up for the coming years. Because Fable's 2025, South of Midnight's 2025, Doom's 2025, Perfect Dark, which was my standout of the show, because we heard all the rumors about Perfect Dark being in development hell, the initiative fucking up, people leaving, Crystal Dynamics had to be brought on.
You was about to say crystal meth.
Yeah, basically. But no. But what they showed, that looks clean. Perfect Dark looks clean. I'm impressed by what I saw. So I need to see. Obviously, they need to show more of it. But I'm assuming that's a 2026 game with the banger of an ender, which is Gears of War E-Day. Like, we're going back. This is what Coalition should do, in my opinion. Because as much as Gears of War 5, that ending is a bit meh. That ending is actually kind of bad. So you go back to a young Marcus, you have Dom. They did the Mad World remix kind of song. Super excited for Gears. Indiana Jones looks good. I'll actually give it a shot because it's on Game Pass. Looks like it'll be a fun. So there's that. Then, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Midnight Sun. No, South of Midnight. Compulsion, knocked out of the park. Looks amazing. State of Decay 3. Saw a little bit of gameplay. A little bit of a cinematic. My assumption's 2026. Hope we need to see more. I need to see more. And then the third party stuff was great. Expedition 33. So overall, like, they had a 10 out of 10 show. They had the best show they've had in years, which I agree, because they actually have a good balance of first party, third party, new game announcements, updates on anticipated games, and overall, that's my thoughts on the show. Also, a special shout out to Mecha Break, that mecha game, because that game has completely caught my interest as a big fan of Gundam. And if you're a fan of Gundam, you'll love it. So here we go, Luca.
Yeah. So I also thought the showcase was absolutely fantastic from the very beginning. It was like W after W after W. Let's go ahead and discuss a little of what they showed as well. And I did a video on it, so you guys can check that out too. But for the showcase, the games that I enjoyed seeing were Expedition 33. Listen, I love Max Caulfield, so I am here for another Life is Strange. Even though Deck 9 and Don't Nod, they have a very difficult time sticking the landing, in my opinion, when it comes to their writing. So I'm a little skeptical. But at the same time, again, I love Max Caulfield, so I will be back for the new Life is Strange game. I'm definitely gonna play that sometime. And then Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn looked I think the Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn was probably my favorite looking game at the showcase. It just looked fucking awesome, you know what I'm saying? Like it just looked like something that I would be interested in. And that's something that I enjoyed about the showcase is that it was a lot of games that I felt like I'd be interested in, which I feel is like something that's been missing a lot from these showcases. I personally, in my opinion, am not a big like smaller game kind of girl. You know what I'm saying? I like my big triple A's. I like my pretty graphics. I like my pew pew pow pow. You know what I'm saying? I like my sword fights, and I don't like. Is it limited as a gamer? Sure, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At the same time, I enjoy big sprawling immersive RPGs. I enjoy turn-based games, you know what I'm saying? Like I just like things that fucking appeal to me, man. And like those cartoony games, man, I'm sorry, but I just gotta listen, I have a hard time getting into those games personally, you know what I'm saying? And even though they showed a couple of those kinds of titles, they kept that to a minimum and was mostly just triple A, triple A, triple A, triple A, man. And I really, really enjoyed that. So, like I said, can we talk about that Diablo 4 trailer? That shit was pretty fucking awesome.
Oh my
Story
gosh.
wise, I don't know what the hell is going on in Diablo 4. I have never played a Diablo game in my life, but just like the little concept trailer that they showed for the story looked fucking amazing. And I was just like, holy shit, dude. Maybe this is something that I'll get into just based on what they did with that story. The little that you could see from it. You know what
You
I'm
have
saying?
to be careful with Blizzard because their cinematics for Overwatch, their cinematics for World of Warcraft, they are stellar, top tier.
But
So
they don't
when
always reflect the game. Yeah.
Oh no, I
yeah,
know it doesn't reflect the game. I'm talking about the story. So
oh,
Oh, yeah.
the Diablo 4 story is obviously I play it and I've been keeping up with it somewhat. I fell off recently after last season, but I know what it's a reference to the trailer, and so I'm like, okay, I could see where they're going with this. It's a really fun dungeon crawler. If you, I mean, you'd probably enjoy it, Luca, and it's multiplayer, so I could play with you.
okay.
I tried the demo. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things where it it only partially clicked with me. Like I played the demo with Eric Jackson, and Slow Mo, and then I think Di jumped in with us once or twice, and it was fun playing it with them. But I didn't find it like it was fun, but like it wasn't anything that grabbed me. And then like once it came time when the game came out, I was just like, it just wasn't anything that really grabbed me. As far as that trailer goes, in terms of quality, top notch. I mean, it's impeccable. But that mess was disturbing. Like watching that
That's
imagery
why
and
I
everything.
liked it. I like that dark
Yeah, that's
shit,
just
man.
definitely not for me. Definitely not for me. Like I was, especially when they showed her like, strung up and everything. I was like, oh
Oh,
shit.
that was brutal.
Oh,
That was so brutal.
yeah, that was too much for me. That was too much for me.
I
So
mean, the main campaign is kind of like that, but the campaign is
yeah.
fire. Like, so if you just want to play it for the campaign and then drop it afterwards, you can. But even then, the activities are kind of fun in the game. You know, if you love your loot, there's loot and trying to min max your character to just go solo a dungeon, which I did. I rolled a wizard, I think, and literally I just teleport all the way around the room and everything just dies. I just walk through. I don't even have to attack anymore. I just run around and everything dies because all this lightning swirls around me. Lightning ball. I can't remember how I set it up. It's been a while, but I mean it's incredibly fun, and you should give it a try, Luca. I'll play with you if you want. I can
Oh,
help
sounds
you
fun.
grind out some gear and levels and whatnot if you want.
That sounds awesome, dude. Yeah, I'll definitely consider it. So what else? Fable. We saw some more of Fable. Fable looks fucking awesome. That looks like something I'm definitely interested in playing. Yeah, Fable looks great. Avowed looks great in my opinion. That's something I'm gonna pick up regardless. It's
Yes.
been a W ever since. They first showed it off, and I trust Obsidian's writing. Slomo says it's quite excellent. Let's see here. What else?
Have
What
you
else?
played any Obsidian games?
Well, I was trying to play Fallout New Vegas on my PlayStation 3, but you could probably
Ooh,
guess how
yeah.
that went. You
Yeah,
probably
badly.
guess how
Yeah,
that went.
yeah.
Very
Yeah.
poor, very
that would
poorly.
go bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Isn't the 360 version better?
It is much better. All of
Yeah.
Bethesda's games, like Skyrim on the PS3 versus the 360.
Actually, I think the
oof.
360 version of every game was better.
It was, to be honest. Like they were struggling. They were in struggle street with PS3. But yeah.
Yeah. And then more of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft, you're not
Ooh,
gonna fucking
man.
trick me this time. But I must say that shit looked pretty fire, man. It looked really good. I'm not gonna lie. I'll wait for a sale on that. You're not getting my $70, $80, $100, Ubisoft. You're just not. But that definitely looks like something I'd be interested in. I liked that you can the fluctuation, and you could choose whether or not to play missions as Yasuke or Naoi. So I think it's pretty dope, man. I'm more of a stealth type character myself. I prefer stealth in my games, so I probably would be going more so her kind of combat in comparison.
Luca, instead of paying the 70, Ubisoft Plus. Pay the 15, beat the game, so unsubscribe.
Yes, that is something to consider as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then let's see here. I also liked. Let's see here. Again, Expedition 33 just looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks
It looks
really, really
fucking
good.
dope, dude. Like I really can't
Mhm.
wait to play that. The Starfield Shattered Space looked pretty good too. I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, they went a completely different vibe.
yeah, I was like, what is this? And I was surprised to see it was Starfield. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. I I have no interest in these games, right? But I feel like if I was a like Fallout 76 fan, a Sea of Thieves fan, or Elder Scrolls Online fan, I'd be fucking happy because they get new content every showcase. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty dope. I think it's amazing that they are supporting their titles like that. Let's see here. What else? A Snake Eater remake. I've never played Metal Gear Solid before, but as I was watching that trailer, I'm like, I think this is a remake, right? Like I feel like I could tell. So that looks pretty dope. And then Doom: The Dark Ages looked fucking awesome. Like shout out to the Doom fans. That looks like something that I can imagine that they would enjoy playing. Indiana Jones with the Great Circle, regardless of however you may feel about that title and who's behind it, that is completely an Indiana Jones kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to watch the movies, the movies that are good, right? The old Indiana Jones movies with my grandpa. He's a big fan, and I was like, oh man, that's him. You know what I'm saying? So I like that vibe. There, State of Decay 3. After the fiasco of State of Decay 2, you're probably not going to catch me on that game. I have very fond memories of characters glitching into walls, into the floor, me wandering around with a backpack, but no one could see my backpack. Like just interesting things with State of Decay too. So Perfect Dark was something I was really surprised to see. I thought that looked really good. I was also thinking, like Singer brought up how I think it was Jeff Grubb said that the game was in some development hell. I mean, we gotta just remember that the Anthem trailer is still a thing in which the developers had no idea that that was their game. So it's something to be mindful of as well,
Wow.
where you just never
Forgot
really
about
know.
that.
Yeah, like you never really know what may be going on behind the scenes. Even though it had a fantastic showing, I wouldn't automatically dismiss Jeff Grubb's words in regards to this.
There is
I
an add-on to that though. In
Go ahead.
the direct after the showcase, the day after, they had Perfect Dark in there, and the developers know this is their game. So I don't think it's quite an Anthem thing. I think they just made a good gameplay because it was all gameplay. It wasn't CG, right? Outside of the opening cutscene where she flies in. So I'd say it's pretty good. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt over Anthem because Anthem it looked good, but the developers were saying, "What is this?" And that hasn't happened with Perfect Dark. So, and they also confirmed when they had one of the developers on that this is what they're going for. So I'm willing to trust it more so than Anthem.
Perfect Dark was a really big surprise for me because it was literally not on my radar at all. Like I'd never played any of the other ones, And it was just like, it was an IP that I knew a lot of people were looking forward to. And so I was like, cool, but it wasn't anything that just ever registered for me because I'm not the biggest FPS person anyway. But I play them, but like, I'm not super big into them. But Perfect Dark was just a game that I just knew existed but never really had any interest in. But after seeing that gameplay and everything, it went into my wish list. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of that.
Right. Shout out to Foxy saying, I don't know about y'all, but Gears of War and Life is Strange were the best games. LOL, no bias here. Yeah, those are pretty, some good, we had some good times with those titles. Yes, we did.
Gears of War.
Okay, let's see here. What else? Appreciate you, Foxy. Thank you. What else was I interested in?
The Souls game?
I'm sorry, which one?
Fallen Feathers.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, we already know. Like,
I mean, I saw it and I instantly thought, Luca would like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, so.
South of Midnight, that's not really something I'm all that interested in, but it's pretty cool, like with the stop motion and everything like that.
That could be a day one for me.
Nice, okay. Yeah, we got some more Sea of Thieves content, Atomfall, Fragpunk, Mecha Break, Winter Burrow. Okay, yeah, I definitely thought the Gears of War E-Day looked awesome. I actually started tearing up a little bit when Mad World was playing. I was like, bitch, They got me, man. They definitely got me with that. So it looked awesome. I hit up my game share partner for Xbox and was like, do you want to play this? Because we played the most of the Gears of War games together. Actually, was some of my first games that I played on my Xbox One S when I first joined the community. Gears of War was gifted to me, and I played that with Scrotum. So that's my game share partners gamer tag, right? And then Dragon Age the Veilguard. So they showed off some Dragon Age. I'm a huge Dragon Age fan. You guys can check my stats. I posted them on Twitter because Slow-Mo had let's show our stats thread. I, for one, am of the mind that, like, when it comes to certain perspectives, I am just like, well, did you play this game? No? Okay, whatever. I don't really take what you have to say seriously. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely am of the mind when it comes to that. And you can definitely tell who played these games, all three of them, versus who's just talking out of their ass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they showed off the little teaser trailer. People were like, "Oh, is this League of Legends? Is this Fortnite? Is this is this Valorant?"
It's so annoying.
They were just doing all that extra shit, They're just like, this just looks so bad, And I was just kind of sitting there, just like, well, Dragon Age reveal trailers have never been like the best. You know what I'm saying? They've all been kind of goofy. So they don't actually reflect how the reveal trailers do not reflect how the game actually looks ever. At least it didn't for Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2. So for me, it kind of had me scratching my head when I saw people freaking the fuck out. Like, what is this? Oh my god, what is this? What is this? I'm so disgusted. Is that how the gameplay is gonna look? Oh my god. I'm like, it'd be one thing if we just saw that teaser and we didn't get anything else, or we didn't know that anything else was coming, but we knew that gameplay was going to come a few days later. So I was kind of like, why wouldn't you just wait for the official gameplay reveal before freaking the fuck out? And again, I'm talking about people who were like freaking out. Like, you can express some concerns. That's fine. Like, I'm not equating the two. Freaking out is someone, again, who's like, oh, this is disgusting. It's the worst. They've lost their identity and blah, 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 blah. Versus someone saying, I don't really know how I feel about this yet. I guess I hope the gameplay doesn't actually reflect this kind of style, blah, 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 whatever, right? So
that comes down to emotional maturity.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like, I also feel like just being in this space, being in this community just leads to more kind of extreme reactions when it comes to a lot of stuff, So the trailer got downvoted into oblivion, which is fine, right? But yeah, then they showed off the official gameplay, and other than a couple of gripes, I do have a few. I do have a few gripes. It looked good. It looked really good. I love the lighting, the graphics. I actually went back to Dragon Age Inquisition because people were saying Dragon Age Inquisition looked better, and I was like, oh, okay. So I went back to look at Dragon Age Inquisition. Emphatically, it does not look better than what they showed us in this gameplay. Like, just the lighting and the facial expressions. I was looking at Varric from Inquisition versus Varric now. I'm just like, come on, guys, you got to start being fucking serious, or you got to take off your rose tinted glasses when it comes to these things and actually like go back and look at these things. And I thought Dragon Age Inquisition was absolutely breathtaking when the game came out, but just looking back and just comparing the two, like in terms of just vibrancy, it just looks amazing, you know? So the main concern I have, the main concern I have when it comes to Dragon Age will be and will always be what that story is hidden for. You know what I'm saying? And how the companions come off, like if they're fully fleshed out dynamic characters, um how those relationships develop, how how you interact with the world and how the world changes around you based on your decisions. Like that is something that I'm concerned about, and I am waiting until I actually play the game for myself to get an idea of how I feel about the story. As a staunch Dragon Age 2 defender, as someone who absolutely adores Dragon Age 2, the reason I adore Dragon Age 2 is because of the characters and because of the story that was told. I know that they had the repeated dungeons, all right, the copy pasta dungeons. I understand, baby. I fucking understand. I get it. And it's definitely a rightful critique, regardless of their time constraints, right? But I thought I like Dragon Age 2 the best because I felt like those companions were actually my friends, the character's friends, not my friends, but the character's friends, you know? And in comparison to the other two with Inquisition and Origins, it's kind of like, okay, in Origins, you're like, fuck, it's just me and Alistair. We gotta get people together so we can stop the fucking archdemon, you know? And you just like start collecting your merry little band of folks, right? And then like Inquisition as well, people are coming to you because you are deemed a religious figure, and there are people who believe in you, and then there are people who want that political power, and so they come under you. Or there's people with other other kind of aspirations that are hiding behind a uh hiding behind a mild mannered demeanor, you know what I'm saying? And that's 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 soulless, you know? So ultimately, I just like Dragon Age 2 because of the companions, and I don't get me wrong, I love Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age Inquisition. I love those companions. Leliana was my favorite in Origins. I also really loved Morgan. I love Zebron, like Alistair, you know, that was my dude. Like I love them. And then of course in Inquisition, Cassandra, my bitch. Dorian, my bestie. All right. Fucking Sarah, dude. Like, come on, man. I just love all of them. They were all interesting to me. But for the Veilguard so far, I'm, you know, of course, you got Scout Harding, my girl, you know, and Varric, which, you know, I will see how long Varric lasts, right? But yeah, I just am very curious and very interested to see what that story is hitting for. That is my main concern. It's the story. Gameplay, we'll see what they do with the gameplay. They change the gameplay in one way or another. They tweak it in one way or another every single game. They also, I saw somebody complaining about how the darkspawn look. I'm like, I need you to turn your fucking brain on, or at least pretend like you've played this game. They change how the darkspawn look in every single fucking game. Okay, the darkspawn in fucking Dragon Age 2 do not look like the darkspawn from fucking Dragon Age Origins.
Are those
Okay,
the demons?
they're
The things
so
that
to
come out of
speak.
the ground?
Yeah, they come out of the ground. They come from the
Oh,
deep
okay.
roads, right? So they just look different in each one. The demons look different. It's just kind of like, okay, we'll see. We'll see. Now, stylistically, am I like, you know, all engaged for what they did with like the Pride Demon? I'm just kind of, eh, you know, kind of about it. Um, Again, the gameplay looked kind of fine. You know, I really want to see the mage gameplay. I might play as a mage. Oops, sorry. I might play as a mage. I played when I first played Inquisition. I was like a what the fuck was I? I can't remember. I had a sword though, right? And then my second playthrough, I was a mage. I was like a knight mage. And then my third playthrough, I can't fucking remember. But I was also a mage, but I made different choices. I was a circle mage. And then in Origins, City Elf Origin, aka the best fucking Origin in all of the fucking listen, I won't argue with your mother. City Elf Origin is the best fucking Origin in my opinion. That shit is awesome. It was my favorite Origin. So I played City Elf Origin. I played the Kuzlin Origin. But yeah, those were I think that the kind of origin you have and like what your background is also going to play a great and a big part that is. And I like there was a lot of controversy because you could only play as Hawk. You could only be Hawk. You didn't get the option to be a different race. But the thing of it is like Dragon Age 2 was such a personal story, such a contained story about Hawk that I just prefer it. It's just my favorite, that is. I love all the games. I have a deep love for all of the games, but Dragon Age 2 is just my favorite. But I like that, as in with Inquisition, with the Veilguard, you are given the option to choose from different backgrounds. I like that you get to choose from different races. And the coolest thing about Dragon Age is like the race that you choose actually has an impact on how people treat you. You know, when I played through Inquisition, I was just like a fucking generic knight, you know what I'm saying? And a human knight. And I remember I was just little things. Like I was in the inn at the beginning, right? And I was just talking to the barkeep, and it was just completely normal, it was completely fine. But then the next playthrough, I played as a Dalish elf mage, right? And like it was like that fucking insidious, subtle kind of racism that I experienced from the same barkeep. And I was like, oh, that's fucking cool, dude. I like when they have things like that, and I hope that they continue that trend in the Veilguard. And also it's like the Tevinter, you know what I'm saying? Like come on. Come on, the Imperium? Like, come on, man. I'm definitely fucking I don't know, man. I need them to give me a origin that is as engaging and interesting to me as the City Elf origin was. I hope that there's something really interesting that they do there. Now, there's a lot of things that dropped. We got a lot of information over the last couple of days, which I've really enjoyed seeing the flow of information. Let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. The Veilguard can be played entirely offline. It will not have any microtransactions, which is great. The focus was on a single player game. Let's see here. What else did they drop about that? They dropped the information about the companions. So they said all companions are canon pansexual. Listen, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, right? But I had to block what's his name because he was like, how dare straight erasure? They are erasing straight people. Like it's not like it's a
That
choice.
sounds like Grums.
Yeah, it was him, right?
Yeah.
Straight erasure, which I'm like, I need you to start being fucking serious for one goddamn second here, right? Like we did not have Dragon Age 2 when 4 of your fucking companions are fucking bisexual. All right? 4 of your it might be more than 4. I don't know. I know. Anders, Fenris, Meryl, and Isabella. You could romance them as a girl or a guy, right? The only ones who were straight locked were Aveline and fucking Sebastian. And so it's like I'm scratching my head and I'm just like, are you fucking dumb or something? Like Dragon Age has always featured the ability to romance the same gender. Like this is not a new thing, which is why I get so like uh, it's just fake fans, right? Just fake people complaining about shit like this. Dragon Age is gone woke. I'm like, bro, Dragon Age has been woke. You could romance fucking Leliana as a girl in Dragon Age Origins. Zevron as a guy in Dragon Age Origins. You could come on. Like this is not a new fucking thing. In Inquisition, you could romance Sarah as a woman because Sarah's like canon lesbian. Dorian was canon gay, right? So you could only romance him as a guy. Okay. Iron Bull was pansexual. Solus was straight. But yeah, so they always feature the ability to romance whoever you wanted. Now, me personally, people fucking hate when I say this shit, and I've gotten in some back and forth with people. I personally prefer it when the characters are accessible to every gender, so I don't gotta go through this shit again. Okay, like I don't like having my character straight locked or gay locked or anything like that. I don't like it. I am a selfish fuck and I want to be able to romance who I want to romance as the gender I prefer. Okay? Like that's just what I want. It's another reason why I really like Dragon Age 2. I fucking romance Meryl and I romance Isabella as a chick. All right? I had no interest. Like Fenris is my dude, but the dude was a little bit too fucking racist. I could understand why. I could understand why. Because he was a slave. I get it, right? Like he was abused. Fenris, I'm with you, bro. But the homeboy would kept making too many. He kept making too many pot shots at my girl, Bethany, my little sister. So I was just like, brother, you're my brother. But that's about it, man. Anders can fucking die. All right, like I can't fucking stand Anders, piece of shit. Garbage fucking person. Sorry to all the Anders fans. I'm glad I got the chance to fucking kill him. He was just a terrible person, which is crazy because I know in Awakening he had a completely different personality, which means when fucking Justice took him over, he fucking wiped his personality, dude. Anders was not like that. But anyway, I digress. So I like the option that you get to romance whoever you want. Now, David Gator, who was the original writer of I think it was Origins 2 and Inquisition, he was talking about how when you allow characters to be romanceable to every gender, it kind of takes away the character's agency and like kind of limits what you could do with the character. And as he was saying that, I had the thought, I'm like, like maybe it has more to do with the fact that you guys had like 2 years to come up with Dragon Age 2, a compelling story for Dragon Age 2, and you had these limitations, and there wasn't as much as you could do in that game, right? And so it's like you did the whole like, oh, these characters can be romanced by a guy or a girl, right? Like they're accessible to a guy or a girl, but it has me scratching my head a little bit because I'm just like there are some moments in Dragon Age 2 where I like the characters' arcs did dim. You know what I'm saying? But again, I'm just kind of like, isn't that more to do with the fact that you guys had time constraints than anything else? You know? And I feel like he took that reasoning and the time constraints that they had with 2. And again, I still think 2 is a fantastic fucking story. They did a really good job with what they had, right? But then in Inquisition, again, like Sarah is a lesbian and Dorian is gay, which that fits their characters, you know, don't get me wrong, like, Sarah definitely is stereotypical lesbian, and Dorian definitely comes off as a stereotypical gay man, alright? And that has me kinda scratching my head as well, because it's like, did you design these characters with their sexualities in mind? Because, again, they kind of adhere more to stereotypes, in comparison to, like, Zevron or Fenris or Anders, you know what I'm saying? So it has me scratching my head a little bit. Don't get me wrong, like their sexualities fit their characters, but they do fall more in line with stereotypes when it comes to a lesbian or a gay man, you know? So it's just something that I ponder on, it's something I think about, right? As I wonder about how the game will do and how the game is received writing wise when it comes to these relationships. So yeah, like, again, I saw the whole, like, fucking straight you fucking losers, like, get over it, please, like, come on, how many like, in comparison, there are significantly more games that feature straight characters than gay characters, just like
Hey,
there's
Luca.
significantly more hold on,
Okay.
significantly more games that feature, white characters versus black characters. I need y'all to start being fucking serious for one goddamn second, please. Please, okay? Get over it. All right? Thank you for allowing me to romance whoever the fuck I wanted. Okay? Now, yeah.
Alright. See now, people, if you've been in the RPG genre for long enough, you'll know this isn't a new thing. This goes way back. This goes let's see, Fallout 2 had it way back when. That was the first kind of into it, and then Fallout 3 had it, Fallout 4 had it, Jade Empire, Dragon's Dogma. You have the Divinity series, the Pillars series. Like it, all these games, what do they have in common? They're all full-blooded RPGs, and all of them seem to do it. It's like this isn't a new concept. Even before Mass Effect, even before the Dragon Ages, it was a concept back in the old Baldur's Gate games. Like, this thing has been going on since probably the early 2000s. Like, it's not a new concept. So clearly these people haven't been gaming long enough, or they've only recently joined the community, because this has been a thing for at least 20 years now, probably. The whole same-sex relationships in games and being able to romance who you want.
I've always thought it was just kind of strange that people get like so angry about this stuff. Like, it's not like the character is going to jump out the screen and start kissing you. You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just naive, but it just seems weird. Like, I see like gay characters in games, and it's just like you just keep playing. Like, it's not like it overpowers the story to the point where it like completely pivots into that character's sexuality and this, that, and the third. And then, we go back to we could always fall back to Baldur's Gate. Like, there's literally bestiality in that game. So, like, I don't understand why everybody's getting upset over pansexual characters, that you have the option to romance who you want or not romance them at all. I mean,
Oh, go on.
no, I was gonna say, like, Mass Effect, for instance. I didn't romance anybody, and I still had a blast. I might, do it next time, but very often in games, I don't romance anybody because I'm just doing the hero thing and doing my thing. So I don't know. People get all bent out of shape over like just small stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it's dumb. It's just like, dude, I don't like. Can y'all like please start being fucking serious? Like for one fucking second, please. Like, for one fucking second. Like, again, this is my series. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are fucking tourists coming around bitching and complaining. It's the woke, bitch. Dragon Age has always been woke. KYS, honestly speaking. People should start just considering jumping instead of like opening their mouths. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. So I
Hey,
think it looks good. The dialogue wheel. Go ahead.
Oh,
I
sorry.
was,
Go ahead, Singer.
I was just gonna say, yeah, Fallout 2 came out in 1998, and that was a thing then. So sure, go for it. Clearly, you ain't been gaming long enough, because Fallout 2 is a really big game. Started the Fallout series, and they had same-sex relationships. So yeah, go for it.
So just as a really, really quick related but aside, Brian East reminded me of something hilarious. I was playing the very first Dragon's Dogma. I think it was last year, and like there's this one young dude who keeps getting into trouble, and I keep bailing him out. And somehow through that, he ended up being the person that I romanced. And at the end, when the dragon is like, you have the chance to save your true love or blah, blah, blah. And I see this dude like being harassed by all these monsters. And I'm like, who the hell is that? So I like accidentally romanced this dude in Dragon's Dogma. It was the most hilarious thing ever. Like, only mildly related, but it just, Brian East reminded me of that.
That's awesome, dude.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so
I was just gonna bring up something as well.
okay.
It's a funny aside note about Fallout 2, right? There's only two romanceable characters, right? Miria, and Divin. Now, the hilarious thing is, now I love this, and I love how games have kept the dark sense of humor, right? Because I just looked at it and I remembered to permanently divorce her, because for him to be your companions, you have to marry him, right? So to divorce her, you either have to kill her, sold into slavery, or divorce, which costs a whole bunch of money. And I'm like, see, that's just hilarious to me. Yeah, but yeah, I just,
Did you choose the seller into slavery one since that's your favorite?
Yeah,
No,
he did.
No, actually, no, because I love killing people in Crusader Kings. So probably killing her is the easiest option, to be honest.
Sheesh.
What?
Well, I'm
Better than
hoping
the slavery one, man. I'm gonna keep it real.
you probably those are the two options you weighed out. He's like, I could enslave her and that would go well, but it's kind of fun to kill folks too. So you had one hand versus the other hand. Yeah, I'll just kill her.
Okay, I play the bad guy in RPGs. All right.
I'll play the bad guy after a couple playthroughs.
There's something wrong with me because I can't I never do that. Like I know it's just a game and I know it's just for fun, but like going somewhere and the character's like cowering in fear and like, please don't kill me, blah blah blah. It's like I just feel bad. So yeah, I have never played the villain. I've gone gray area, like yeah, like if a character like says or does something really offensive, I might beat the hell out of them, but I never go like full dark.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
You're missing out. Join us on the dark side.
Speaking of missing out, I'm really hoping I can get Dragon Age figured out because I bought it on PC, but Origins, but I bought it on GOG, great good old games. And the problem is, and I learned a lesson. I did not know that older games, a lot of them weren't ported to PC with controller in mind. So there's no controller support, only mouse and keyboard, which I don't do. So then I've been looking at Steam and I'm like, you know how you can do the Steam controller overlay thing. So like, I'm hoping that I can play it with a controller on Steam using that overlay, because then I'll have to wait until it goes back on sale and then grab it over there.
Wait, which game?
Dragon Age Origins.
Oh no, because I already solved that. There's a simple mod for it, because that's how I was like, before Dragon Age comes out, I want to replay the games because I have them all, and I'm replaying Origins with controller, and there's a super handy set of mods. And
we'll have to talk after the show then. Thank you.
Yeah, because trust, it's fully modded. Like, they have an entire suite, and you need to install the graphics mods as well, because it makes the game look so much better. Because
I was planning to do that.
Origins without the mods, that looks rough. It looks really rough.
And apparently there's a 4 gigabyte patch you need to download, or the game crashes a lot on modern hardware. Yep, which I have. I have that, hopefully I installed it correctly. But that controller support, I need that, because the only game I intend to use a mouse and keyboard for is when I eventually get to it, is Baldur's Gate 3. Because I just hear that even with a controller, it's not as enjoyable. So I'll do it for that, but preferably controller.
Oh yeah, I'll guide you, because it's really simple, because there's a Dragon Age mod manager. And then once you download the mod manager, you just drag and drop the mods into it, so you don't have to worry about installation. So you wouldn't have to worry about anything. You just drag and drop the folders in, and it installs.
Oh wow, that's great, and as user friendly as possible, because I'm still learning.
Yes, it's user friendly as possible. It's the only way I could play Origins right now, because without the mods, it's a struggle. So
interesting. Okay.
Alrighty. But yeah, so that's pretty much yeah, so what's up, Blue Moon, Breesky, JT, how's it going, buddy? Brian, Dorian, Gregor, how's it going? Glad you could drag yourself away from Destiny to come listen. Boba, Lover God, Ripper, okay. Cajun Warcry, Iman, Bite, Albert, Lil Sad Boy Blue, Cygnus, Nam, Arcade, Foxy, Feral J, Albanian, True Bleed, Green, BCN, Glenzer, Leaky, Shooting for You. Yeah, what's up, guys? Def Lloyd, how's it going? Hero Down Under, what's up? Vac, what's up? Stone King X, what's up, guys? Glad to see you here. Shooting for You, saying Dragon Age of Veilguard is going to be epic. I hope so, man. I fucking hope so. Especially because, like, I'm not gonna lie, me and BioWare have not been on the same page. Every time people would bring Dragon Age up to me, I would roll my eyes and be like, all right, whatever. Because fucking Anthem and Andromeda, like Anthem especially, I was just like, man, fuck BioWare, dude. They've lost it. So I'm curious to see how that story is and how those companions are. Again, that's my main fucking concern right now. So I'm gonna give the game a shot. I'm gonna play it, and hopefully I enjoy it. So, did anything else happen this week?
Nope.
All right. Let's see here. Okay, so I guess I'll get the channel member topics and we can fucking skedaddle. We can do it a mini. We can do a mini-sode, guys.
Can
Man,
I
what?
say something about
Sure.
Avowed real quick?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like Avowed has been such a funny thing for me because getting over the initial teaser and then the game being completely different. I was like, all right, I don't appreciate the bait and switch, but it still looks good. So it's like Avowed looks good, but the thing with the first gameplay reveal, what bugged me a lot was the character like physics, like when you kill those little short little monster things, it's like they kind of curl up in a little ball and just lay there, right? And so it was like little things like that that were really bothering me. And then seeing the gameplay at the showcase, it looked better. So like I'm like desperately hoping that it's just, the build that they showed, they're still kind of like working it out. And by the time it releases, like the animations and everything will be better quality because the game itself looks really good. And it's one of the few games that I've seen where it's just kind of like it's been such a seesaw with what I've seen of it. So like, because that was one of my most anticipated until the first gameplay reveal. So I'm just kind of Avowed has just been a really curious thing for me. But I remember how much I liked Outer Worlds, so I'm definitely like keeping an open mind.
Well, the thing is, in the extended, they had the lady on from Avowed who's directing the game,
Yeah.
and everything they said got my hype level even more. They are polishing it a bit, but the combat is the gameplay is there and it's fun and it's secondary, but it's not the main feature.
Okay.
Generally, you're playing that game for the story and the quests and the NPCs because Obsidian, they've never been known for their gameplay. Their selling point has always been their story and characters
And
because
that's
they
fine. I can
write
live with that. I can live with that.
excellent story. Like, I understand the game looks the way, but I'm there for the story. I'm ready to dive into this world, and because I have previous knowledge of the world, I could get a lot of the references and characters that they may bring in for cameos and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, it's mainly there for the story, and you're going to be in for one hell of a time because the NPCs are going to be written supremely well.
That's
So
good. That's good news to hear because I'm still not overly familiar with Obsidian or that Pillars world. So that's actually good news because I can live with average to subpar gameplay as long as it's not like, as long as the gameplay isn't like frustrating, right? But a good story, I can forgive almost everything for a good story. Like, I
well, I
mean,
mean, the gameplay isn't mid. Like, there's a lot of interactive. There's a lot of things you could do, but it's not the main selling point of the game. Like, if you went into, let's say, Pillars of Eternity, right? You're not there for the gameplay. The
yeah,
gameplay's fine and it's good and it gets the job done, and you can have a lot of fun. But
yeah, that's cool.
what you're focusing on is the story, the interesting characters, the intrigue. Like everything is not black and white. Everything is a shade
Oh,
of
that's
gray.
cool. That's cool.
And you are gonna have to make some. I know you said you don't like playing as the bad guy, but you're gonna have to make some decisions as the bad guy because there is no. This is a good decision. That's a bad decision. Both of them are bad.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is less bad? So
I feel like Witcher 3 had a few missions like that where it was like, man, either one I choose, somebody's gonna get
yeah.
effed up. So
So you kind of have to rely on your moral compass with games like that, especially with Obsidian games. So I mean, hey, just go off the deep end. Don't think too much about it.
well, I'm looking forward to checking it out. But Slow-Mo and Luca got me looking forward to going through the Dragon Age games before Veilguard. I'd like to like when I saw the trailer for Veilguard, having not played any of the Dragon Age games, only seen them. I thought like it gave me the impression that that wasn't indicative of the gameplay. Maybe just because I've been playing games long enough to kind of parse that. But I did laugh at a few things. I thought it looked like almost like kind of Forgotten Realms ish. But I was like, I didn't think it was the gameplay, but it looked fun, kind of like a camaraderie. I think they were trying to get across the camaraderie and, you know, like adventuring thing of it. So that's why it didn't necessarily bother me, but you know, I also knew that the gameplay was coming up. But everything I saw, I liked it. So I'm looking forward to like going through the series. And I hear that the decisions you make will carry into Veilguard. I don't know if that's just the last game or if it's all the games going into Veilguard. But I thought that was something cool as well.
Sweet. All right. Let's get these show member topics and fucking skedaddle. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so someone did mention the Acolyte in the fucking chat. Look, here's the thing, guys. I'm not like really a big Star Wars fan. And everything I've heard about every single one of the series that they've come out with has been real bad. So I'm just not watching it. I heard that shit with the Acolyte. People are like really even just general Star Wars fans, like not the people who are into the anti-woke stuff. General Star Wars fans are just like, nah, I'm not interested in that. I don't like that shit. It's like it's kind of I hear that it doesn't make sense from a lore perspective. And I hate when people change shit from a lore perspective. That shit's pretty annoying. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, I have no interest in that show. And I will continue to have no interest in it. If I was a Star Wars fan, I'll be honest, I'd be pretty pissed because it's like I keep hearing that shit's just not good. Shit's just not fucking good, man. So, I mean, do either of you watch that?
Go on.
Okay. So I was when I saw it, I was mildly interested, very mildly interested. And so I was like, you know, I hadn't planned on watching it, but then my wife had it on. So I walked in the room and I got about roughly probably like a 5-minute whiff of that dude, dude with the dreads. 5-minute whiff of him was enough for me. Like when I saw that cat, like I was like, oh, this is the Acolyte. Ugh. Like he was like almost instantly repulsive. Like it just, and I was like, he seems like a Jedi, but like even if he's a villain, he's like intolerable. And this is off of 5 minutes. And then so I was just like, yeah, just him alone. I don't need to watch this. And then somebody posted that clip, the power of many or whatever that was. And I'm watching this and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And then when I read like, you know, the background on what they were doing, I was just like, yeah, I will never, ever destroy these minutes of my life watching this. So there's absolutely no way I'm going to watch this.
Yeah, I mean, ever since the original 6 films, Star Wars fell off a cliff and it's never recovered. I don't care what you say about the new trilogy.
The games have been better.
The games have been better, but the shows,
Yeah,
outside of the Mandalorian, dumpster. The movies, dumpster.
Well, how was Ahsoka though? I never watched Ahsoka. I heard that was pretty.
Oh, Ahsoka was good. But like, it's few and far between, and these new writers they have writing from are not it. They are just not. No, they are just. You are ruining the franchise actively, and I don't know if it's a speed run to see how fast they can destroy Star Wars, but
they need to go ahead and fire Kathleen Kennedy. But that's just me.
They really do.
She's still there. Like, how does nobody look at what she's doing and look at the reception
upwards,
and think,
my guys?
Like, how do these people fail upwards? Like, it's just a crazy phenomenon. Like, how are they looking at this and thinking, yeah, she's still the person? Yeah. Jesus.
So, yeah, no interest in that. As for the Nick Merck situation, I'll be honest with you. It's one thing to say, leave kids alone or whatever, but like when you go out of your way to just say trans people don't exist when you were just like emphatically wrong, like logically speaking, you are incorrect, then it's just kind of like you're just being like controversial for controversial sake. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that these are his genuine feelings, but like you can genuinely feel a way and still be incorrect, you know? Your feelings don't dictate the reality around you. It's just your feelings. So you can emphatically feel something and still just be wrong because trans people do exist because they exist in general, you know, like we know trans people, you know? So it's weird. But it's also kind of like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think anything of him. I don't watch him. I don't have any interest in him. I think that when people say leave kids alone, at least from what I've seen in like the follow up responses, is like people claim like, oh, I'm just concerned about the children, but then they'll do things like Nick did, and they'll follow it up with trans people just don't exist. He just doesn't like trans people, man. He's a transphobe. It's all good, whatever. So that's how I feel about it. He can feel however he wants. Like he's completely free to feel however he wants, but you know, he's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just wrong. Like so it's like whatever. Like I it's like when I got into when I had a conversation with that dude there was some dude on Twitter a couple years ago, and he was like, "Black women don't play video games," right? And I went to go listen to his
The
stream,
hell?
and as I was listening, I was like, "Oh, this guy's just racist," Like he was like saying "coon," he was saying the hard er. He was like, "I dare any black woman to come up and debate with me," right? And I went on his stream. And I was just like, "Well, like you're free to feel however you want, but you're just wrong." Like, so there's no point in getting angry at you because you have your own worldview, but your worldview is not reality. You can feel whatever you want. I could say that the sky is fucking red. I could say the sky has blood dripping from it. You know what I'm saying? I could say that fucking Jesus just came down and patted my head, but that doesn't mean that what I'm saying is true. Maybe I sound a little crazy. Those are the more like crazy kind of viewpoints, right? But I'm just saying, like, again, so I got on that stream with that guy, and I just had like a conversation with him, but I wasn't angry. I didn't get triggered, which, of course, if you get triggered, that is completely valid considering he was spewing racist stuff, right? But like, I didn't get triggered or
That's what he was
upset
looking for.
because that's what he was looking for. And then when we were done with the conversation, he was all like, "Oh, she was kind of based." I'm like, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because I went on there and I was like, "I just think that you're racist." And he's like, "I'm not racist." I'm like, "Well, you're using racist slurs, and your viewpoint is racist. So I think you're racist, and you're doing it for your viewers." And we went back and forth, and then I was like, "Okay, cool." And we're done. I was like, whatever. So for me with the Nick Merck situation, like there's no point in getting angry at people like this because it's like, what's the point? In my opinion, it's just how I feel. It's just kind of like, all right, well, it is what it is. He can feel however he wants. It doesn't change anything. Again, his viewpoint does not reflect reality. Your perception of reality is not often reality in itself. So that's how I feel about these kinds of situations. I have no, uh, I don't have any. I just don't care. A lot of I don't care about what other people choose to do with their bodies as long as they're not hurting anybody else. Like who gives a fuck, right? I think that a lot of the issue is that, and especially in social media, there's been some very negative depictions of trans people. I'm thinking of that trans person from GameStop. Do you guys remember that?
No, I don't think I know
The
anything
whole
about that.
"It's ma'am," that there was.
Oh, okay, that's where
Yeah.
that came from. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like that was something that completely drove people's perception of trans people for a long time. And then there's the whole like drag queen conversation with kids. I personally don't understand why that's the talking point. Like why are we compelled to have kids at drag shows? Like why is that the particular talking point? It's a little strange to me, but whatever, right? Um like because of that conversation and all that stuff, there's just been such a negative perception of trans people. And it doesn't help when there's like trans YouTubers like Blair White who deliberately showcases like the most extremist when it comes to like trans discourse, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's all outrage bait. It's all uh cancel bait, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of like negative response to Nick Merckx in regards to some aspect of his um I guess sponsorships, I know that they dropped his skin or something when he said like leave the kids alone, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a little bit more of that in response. Like, it is freedom of speech. You are free to say whatever you want, but there are consequences to the things that you say. And trans people are a protected class. So however you may feel, like, you can't just say whatever you want, especially if it affects your employers. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you guys get me? Does that make sense?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So
No, it's yeah. I mean, you pretty much said it all right there. I mean, people have these crazy worldviews, and like you say, a person's opinion on something, is what it is, but it's not reflective of reality, and they try to make it like it is, but it's not, and folks are going to need to figure out a way to get over it, because you can't make people who have existed since forever just not exist because you don't want them to for some oddball reason. So, I mean, yeah, that's their burden to have to deal with, and unfortunately, the groups who they're prejudiced against, the burden to have to deal with them. But yeah,
I mean,
mean,
yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I just don't have the energy to be getting angry about certain things. I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely still get angry about certain things, but usually there's something else going on in my personal life that is exasperating the feelings. And then I come on here and it just makes the feelings worse because something's going on in my personal life, and
yeah,
something like I'm not controlling some aspect in my personal life. So my feelings are just like heightened. But generally speaking, like in my personal life, if everything's fine, I see stuff like this, I'm just kind of like, oh, all right, and I just like keep it moving.
yeah,
I'm just like, there's no point in arguing with people who have those kinds of viewpoints. It's just kind of like, it's like a waste of your time. That's why whenever someone is like, this hasn't happened in a long time because I don't show my gender or my race on Twitter. But like when people would call me the N-word, I would just block them. Like, I'm not arguing with someone who calls me the N-word. All right. We are not
yeah,
going back.
exactly. Yes.
Like,
You
we
you
are not
can't.
going back and forth.
That's
All
not
right.
that's not an argument you can win, because you're on two completely mental planes. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, and you will come out poisoned. You'll come out mentally, emotionally, and intellectually poisoned, and they'll go about their business. Like, blocking them is the best way to preserve your peace.
Yeah, this whole, like, if you block me, I win. What do you win? These
Oh,
nuts?
I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's
I
such
love
a
that. It's
dumb
like
comment.
psychology 0.01. It's like, no, you're that doesn't work.
Yeah, so, like, what's up, Capono? Yeah, I don't understand women either, friend. Anyway, but yeah, so I just, like, yeah, I'm like, okay, it is what it is. Like, he's free to feel however he wants, and whatever consequences come out of that, I mean, it is, again, trans people are a protected class. You can't just, like, from a job standpoint, you can't be surprised if there's consequences, It sucks, but it is what it is, my guy. So whatever. Yeah, so let's see here. Um Oh, and then another thing I wanna say, Dwayne said this in the chat. I fucking hate when content creators I like show their real personalities, okay? If I'm watching you for a very specific thing, and then your ass comes out of left field, and now it's like, "Oh, well, fuck." Like, fundamentally, we disagree about this major issue. I can't fucking rock with you anymore. And I get annoyed. Or it's like if they come out and they're fucking annoying and like they're just aggravating, like you see their tweets, it just ruins it for me, right? Or it's like the Act Man. Oh, I used to love the
Oh, that
Act Man's
dude.
content. Like I had so much fun watching his stuff. Oh, he was so great, right? I just loved his content. But then he fucking came on Twitter with that bullshit. And then I was just like, fuck, man. I
Well, I
can't rock
remember
with
when you
the
engaged him on P-Rock's show. That was
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, the dude, he's like, well, this Luca person's never watched my content and is just gonna hate me. No, dude, you're just a fucking you're a disingenuous fuck, okay? I can't stand well, disingenuous about it. And like he even said the N-word during the show. So it's
And
just
it
kind of
and
like
it flowed out of his mouth
just
with
so
fluency.
easily. So
Yeah.
easily.
That's
So
how you
that
know he
like
uses it.
ugh, it was so annoying for me because I was just like, I fucking liked your content and you ruined it by opening your stupid mouth. And so it's like there's other YouTubers who I used to watch who they decide to just start fucking yapping on Twitter. Get off of Twitter! Get off of Twitter and make these fucking YouTube videos, okay? I'm not trying to see your fucking opinions. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But it's just like, it's so frustrating because it's just like, I'm enjoying your content for what it is. I don't need to see what your true fucking personality is. There's another YouTuber I used to watch. I used to watch him for like scary videos, for like the Alien and Predator content, because I thought that was interesting. Motherfucker started open his mouth about that woke shit. I'm like, oh my God. Oh.
I actually have a personal story as to why it's going to be like, you know, I don't want to say a struggle, but maybe a mild challenge to get into the Gears of War series. I'll tell you later after we're done.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, I was just like, ugh, please stop ruining my enjoyment of you by opening your fucking mouth, please. But that's just me. That's just me. Okay. So anyway, moving on from that, what games were the biggest surprise for you, both positively and negatively, in the Xbox One/PS4 generation? Titanfall 2 was so incredibly influential on my taste in both multiplayer and single player. Conversely, Final Fantasy. Okay, which final? I'm sorry, y'all know I can't fucking read Roman
15.
numerals. Final Fantasy 15, though I love it, was missing so much in terms of gameplay elements and providing a compelling open world. So, for the Xbox One and PS4 generation, Bloodborne was the genre-defining experience for me. It surprised me in the best of ways because I had, for the longest time, said, I don't want to play Dark Souls. I play games to have fun, not be miserable. I don't want to play that, right? But Bloodborne came out, and Bloodborne's aesthetic really appealed to me. And then when there was that fucking switch and it went from a gothic horror to a cosmic horror, I fucking love cosmic horror, dude. I fucking love cosmic horror, dude. That shit was amazing. The gameplay is amazing. It just really, like, that was my first step into From Software, and it really just changed the landscape of gaming for me, that is, entirely. So Bloodborne for me, for the Xbox One PS4 gen.
For me, I would definitely go with Titanfall 2. I mean, that game was, I've never been so surprised by how good a game is until I played Titanfall 2. I can't remember who recommended it, but they're like, dude, it's only a few bucks, grab it. And yeah, it was just stellar. Another one, Mad Max. Mad Max, I remember when that game was first revealed, I was like, man, that actually looks pretty good. And then the problem with that game was it released surrounded by like bigger titles. And I remember because I wanted to get it day one and I totally forgot about it. And then it wasn't until, I mean, you know, sadly, I didn't play it until this gen, but I played that game and it was absolutely brilliant. Like, it's so good. Mad Max is one of my favorites. Like, it's a shame that it didn't do better because it deserved so much more than what it got. So those are the two that immediately come to mind of like just huge surprises.
Sweet. Singer, I know you're a big gamer guy.
Indeed. And for me, biggest disappointment of that gen, I would have to say,
Or the greatest.
the greatest of that gen is Witcher 3.
Witcher 3 was fucking amazing. I played that game 4
Like, The
times.
Witcher
Oh, that it
3
was.
The Witcher 3 was that is the game of the gen. Like, it's gotta be up there.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I
Witcher
liked
3
it
is the
enough
game
to
of
double dip it
generation,
on
in my
PC.
opinion.
Yeah, I loved him so much. I played it on Xbox, played it on PC, and then I replayed it again because it's just so much fun. And then obviously with the mods, I had to play it again. So there we go. I would say the worst game I did play was either Sea of no, I'd actually most disappointing probably would be 15 actually, because coming off Final Fantasy 13 at the time, and then we knew the next big Final Fantasy was coming, and we got 15, and yeah, we all know how that went. So yeah, I'd agree with the Final Fantasy 15.
Man, I'll be honest with you, that biggest surprise negatively, fucking Anthem. Oh my brother.
Oh,
Oh, so bad, dude. Just so fucking bad. So, but shout out to Clean Frame with the dono saying, while you win peace of mind by blocking them. Exactly. Peace of mind, right? Like, leave me alone. What's up, Prono? Shout out to you saying, in terms of influence, Destiny was game of the generation. Yes, Destiny 2 particularly. Listen, you guys know I used to be a Destiny fucking whore. Like, I used to be a Destiny whore. But yeah, so thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. Let's see here. So yeah, great questions so far, guys. That's Kenneth and Chrono. Ronald says Astrobot charting for the most wishlist game is Extreme Copium. Oh, okay. For Console War Boys.
Oh my
Like
god.
the game will sell great,
Whatever.
but what are we doing here? There's no way it will outsell Doom or Call of Duty. It might outsell Doom. I don't. Not Call of Duty though, but like definitely, it could Isn't Doom more of like a niche game? Let me see.
I wouldn't say niche, maybe like a step or two above niche. It's definitely not like super widespread, but it's a pretty popular game.
Yeah, like okay, listen, sales for Doom on PC were 500,000. Like, come on, I need you to be serious, brother. Let's see here. Doom 2016 has sold roughly 3.6 million copies in 2016, I believe. So that was 8 years ago. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's completely plausible for Astrobot to sell more.
I don't know why people talk like this. Like, if Astrobot sold 30 million, that's great. If it sells, if it sells poorly, then that's sad. But I mean, the game is charting. Like, what the hell does it matter? And then this whole coping shit. Like, I don't know. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so
it's
Doom,
just stupid comments.
Eternal sold 3 million worldwide, which was let's see, which beat 2016 Doom's 957,000 units on launch month sales. So yeah, so listen, I don't know. I think it's completely plausible for Astrobot to sell more than Doom, but not more than like Call of Duty is not a fair comparison. It's not gonna what's gonna outsell COD realistically
GTA 6 is the
obviously
only thing.
yes,
It takes a game like that. That's the type of game that could outsell Call of Duty. That's what it takes. But not many other things can topple Call of Duty.
Yeah, so niche in the sense that like it's not okay, I don't know how to explain. Not niche, but like not as popular as people think it is, I guess you could say. So, I don't know how I know I'm sorry. I know Doom is like a long-standing franchise. I am aware of that. I'm just saying like,
it sits in that area between niche and mainstream, kind of.
Yeah, it's like more in the middle. So it's not niche. It's more in the middle. So before I get any fucking comments from anyone after the show, okay, I corrected myself. Please listen to the entire goddamn stream. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, I don't listen, I personally don't care about Astrobot, but I also am kind of apathetic about people who do. So it is what it is, whatever. But
I'll be playing it.
Thank you, Ronald. Okay, so No Envy Gaming says, what was the most disappointing anime you've ever watched? To me, it's The God of High School. The anime started off pretty hot during the tournament episodes, but after that, when the plot was all over the place and it took a big-ass nosedive, not to spoil anything, but the rest of the episodes were a bit of a chore to sit through. Yeah, Record of Ragnarok. Oh, if I could find who fucking greenlit that goddamn garbage fucking anime, I would beat the shit out of them. That anime was adaptation was so fucking bad. Like Adam versus Zeus, oh my god. And like the artwork for the manga is so fucking lit. Record of Ragnarok is fucking awesome, dude. If you like battle anime, fucking read Record of Ragnarok. Do not watch the trash fire that is the Netflix adaptation, okay? That shit was so fucking disappointing. I was devastated. I was heartbroken. And then Tokyo Ghoul Route A. Yeah, they completely the manga, they didn't even adapt the manga. They just did their own thing, right? So that was disappointing as well. But definitely fucking Record of Ragnarok, dude. I was I have never been so disappointed in my entire fucking life. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I'm exaggerating now, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's just so. Go read Record of Ragnarok. That shit is lit, dude. It's fucking awesome. If you like battle anime, Singer.
For me, one sec. There's no way you're allowed to sell do more Call of Duty. Is that what you're on, or you
No,
on the next?
most disappointing anime.
Ooh, most disappointing anime. Ooh, now that's rough because they're over the past. I mean, there's some recent ones which have been hopeful, but dog shit. Let me see. Let me have a look at my anime list real quick. Because I can't think of one off the top of my head. Oh, I know. The Rising of Shield Hero Season 2. Now, if you want to talk a fall from grace, that is a fall from grace. Because the first season was absolutely fine. But that second season rolled around. I have no idea what happened. Did they run out of time? Did they rush it? The animation was trash. The story was trash. Everything about it was trash. So, yeah, that'd probably be my pick. The second season of Shield Hero for me. That's my most recent memories of a trash anime.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah. Okay. So that's. I don't know anything about that Singer Rising of the Shield Hero.
It's actually supposed to. It is a really good anime. Just watch the
Mhm.
first season, struggle through the second season, and then the third season's after they returned again. But it's a good isekai, but it's done in a way. I mean, there's some hot topics in it like slavery and whatnot, and they
Your
dabble into
favorite?
that.
I'm sorry.
Oh come! Why is it everything has?
Because you keep mentioning fucking slavery, Singer. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, it's in everything I like. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, that came off wrong. Yeah.
Okay, buddy. It's all good, my guy. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my god.
That's gonna get clipped.
Oh yeah, yeah,
There we go. That's a clip.
Not only is it gonna get clipped, but it's gonna get clipped and pasted. Slavery is everything I like. What can I say?
Unfortunate.
And then sadly, that's gonna get clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a rule now where I'll watch 3 episodes of an listen, I used to just watch shit to watch it. It's when I was younger and did not have any responsibilities. So I watched a lot of anime that isn't necessarily good, but I sat through it and I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? There are some series that I consider like, you know what? I'm gonna give a series that surprised me that I ended up liking more than I thought I would. Medica Box. Season 1 of Medica Box versus season 2 is so different to the point where I just did not expect them to go the route that they did, right? Because in season 1, it's like Medica is this girl who can do everything, right? She is just she's a student council president. She's has a beautiful body. She's a beautiful girl. She's extremely smart, right? And it's kind of like a running gag, like, oh, Medica can do anything. She's like superhuman, that kind of thing, right? But as the series goes on, you see that it's not like oh, this is not like a slice of life. There's a reason why she can do what she can do. And it just like it turns into like a fucking like a battle anime essentially, you know what I'm saying? And it ends up being it was a lot more interesting than I thought it would be. Like the second half of season 1 and then season 2 especially. Like I just really enjoyed Medica Box like a lot, a lot. I thought it was really good. So that's something that I would recommend. Like that is a series that took me off guard, that caught me off guard and turned into something else entirely in a really good way. So I definitely would say I would put people onto that. But it's not like a well regarded or a well received anime. Like I think it's pretty low I think it's like a 6 or a 7 on my anime list. I believe. I don't fucking know for sure, but I really like not my anime list, my personal anime list, but like the website, my anime list, right? So, but I really like Medica Box, and it's MEDAKA space BOX. So Medica Box. I thought that was really good.
That is a good shout out in the from Dorian. Starting with Evangelion and Macross, I mean, those are tough series to. Evangelion to start with is a tough series because that show is just WTF the show, right?
Man, yeah,
like that's the whole thing in of itself. Going through that anime, all anime fans, if you haven't, which I would be surprised if you haven't, but if you haven't, watch it, but understand you're gonna come out with a headache at the end of it because
that describes it very well, because that's exactly how I came away from it.
Like how did we reach this point? So it's a fantastic anime. But yeah, you were gonna say?
No, I was agreeing with you on Evangelion, but
yeah,
real quick,
Neon Genesis Evangelion is kind of weird, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't stick the whole thing because it was pretty rough.
You should.
Well, I haven't watched the anime in literally decades, so I think I'm just kind of out of it now. But I want to just backtrack real quick because I think I misinterpreted what's it, Ronald Lucas's comment about the whole Astrobot, fanboys copium thing. I think I misinterpreted what he was saying, so I just want to retract a little bit of the harshness, and my bad. Apologies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Ronald's a great guy.
Yeah, I completely misinterpreted what he said, and then when I reread it, I was like, oh, okay, I see what he's saying. So yeah, my bad,
homie. Oh, it's okay because like I'm used to the slow-mo verbally accosting my my supporters, so yeah, I'm used to it. All right, so let me go ahead and get these channel members and we can skedaddle. Shout out to Phil, Kenneth, Gavin, Chrono, Aoi, Foxy, Paco, Blue Moon, Lino, Iman, Miko, Fonz, Meat Puppet, Yobi, King Metrochan, Corey, Imbandy, Imar, Damien, Dolo, Tevin, Ronald, Dealer, MJ, Dirk, Scrotum, Lord Jorenza, Kenny, DC, Big Daddy, Smitty, Subnegro, Jazzy, Dom, Duckman, Sycamore, Zion, Brisky, Lightstripe, Pepitio, Nautical, Jet, No Envy Gaming, Slomo, and Hannibal. I appreciate you guys for being members of the channel. Appreciate the super chat support. Appreciate everyone who got in the chat. Appreciate everyone who listens later and leaves comments. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Evangelion's complicated. I know you're saying this in general, Saber, and not about us, right? But I just, it's just a little strange. It's a strange little series.
Yeah, it's not complicated. It's just the roller coaster that you go on through that anime. You go up, down, left, right, side to side. You go into space somewhere. You come back, and then you go back up again. So it's. I mean, there's a lot of, as he said, philosophy in it, sure, but it's weird at the same time.
Did you see Gregor Von Du's comment?
Yes, someone will misread something and take out 40 years of knee pain out on you. I mean, you're not wrong. A shout out to Nautical, has been a member for 43 months and member of the panel, saying, "I can't help it. Slavery is in everything I like." That's what Death Finger said. 2024. So, all right, guys. But yeah, shorter show, but there wasn't too much that happened. I mean, I feel like I got my feelings about the Xbox showcase off real early. And then it's just kind of like, oh, okay, like other things have happened this week, but nothing like super interesting. I am a big Dragon Age fan. If Soma was here, he would have had a lot more to say on the topic as well, since he is also a Dragon Age fan. So, but yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really, really looking forward to getting into it.
I'm very curious about how it will go. I'm generally concerned about the story just based off Andromeda and Anthem, but we'll see how it goes.
That's true. Well, from what they showed of the gameplay, it looks promising. So hopefully that's an indication that it'll go well. We'll keep the hopium going.
Yeah, we got the hopium, we got the copium. All right, boys and girls, I will see y'all for another one next week. And then the following week, so we're going to do a show on the 22nd. And then on the 29th, I will be out of town. So, all right, catch y'all later. Peace. You
Shout
guys
out
wanna
to
do the
that
outros?
Steam sale on 20th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to the summer sale.
Yo, thank you, Luca, for having me on. Always a pleasure, Singer. Had a blast, and guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your games. Shout out to two indies, Omno, OMNO. It's a really cool indie game, heavy adventure puzzle, and also Gris, GRIS. And shout out to Stone for recommending that one. She posted it, and two really good indie games. If you like indie games, they're fantastic. And yeah, have a great weekend.
Oh my God, not Slomo messaging me 30 minutes ago saying he could be on. Bro, you should have showed up in the chat and said something. Ugh, I don't look at my phone during the show. All right, well, anyway, Singer.
Yeah, great show. Fantastic as always. I have a nice quotable out of this show, it seems like. So, I'm sure I'll see it everywhere, and it's going to be a thing moving forward. So I expect Greg is going to bring it up every show. So that's the thing. But yeah, you can find me everywhere playing games.
All righty.
At the local plantation.
See y'all later.
No.
Oh, and then shout out, sorry, Chrono, I missed this saying. Also, Nier Automata is the best game ever made. Ooh, okay. But yeah, I got yours, Chrono. All right, catch y'all later. Peace.
Later on.